Well, some shocking new court documents filed Friday alleging that disgraced rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs is breaking more rules from behind bars. He's now accused of attempting to influence potential.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names.
Hold on to your mugs, folks, because the tea is scalding today. Word on the street is Ashton Kutcher and Steve Harvey might be packing their bags and saying adios to the U.S. Why? They've reportedly been subpoenaed to testify against none other than Diddy in his upcoming trial.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis split rumors have been circulating online after his friendship with Diddy has been put under a magnifying glass following the rapper's arrest.
Ashton Kutcher were before Ashton and his Diddy partying. You got Ashton Kutcher in love with Mila Kunis on that 70s show. Then they break up for absolutely no reason after he starts hanging out with Diddy. Then he marries Demi more. He replenished himself by doing inappropriate things with their daughters.
This really makes you wonder, what kind of dirt does Diddy have that's got these celebrities thinking about a one-way ticket out of here? Let's dive in.
Steve Harvey also has a very inappropriate relationship with the diddler. And the truth is, a lot of these older men push their daughters to hook up with their celebrity friends so that they can keep the favor machine going. How do you share with your daughter, you know?
Ashton Kutcher and Steve Harvey have been named as defendants in both civil and criminal lawsuits filed against Diddy. These shocking allegations claim that the celebrities were allegedly participants in Diddy's notorious freak-off parties and involved in intimate misconduct with minors. Reports also detail that Steve Harvey and Ashton Kutcher were allegedly caught on camera in compromising situations with mirrors. Adding fuel to the fire, rumors suggest that Steve Harvey's daughter was involved with Diddy when she was 22 and he was 50, sparking even more controversy around these allegations.
Because they actually look pretty happy.
Diddy and Lori Harvey, they're heating things up in Italy. Notice her arm is on the back of his chair.
Shocking! For some reason.
Diddy and Steve Harvey's connection reportedly dates back to the 90s, with claims that Diddy played a significant role in helping Steve Harvey's career reach its current heights. In return, it's alleged that Steve Harvey has remained under Diddy's influence ever since. In exchange for his success, Steve Harvey allegedly had to make sacrifices, because in Hollywood, nothing comes for free. And the cost, it seems, was his daughter. Despite his public stance on being a protective father and strict about who Lori dates, Steve was seen with Diddy while the mogul took Lori on a date.
I think it's more interesting that Steve Harvey's there.
Survey says the number one most interesting thing about this photo is
Diddy and his son are Eskimo brothers.
While these allegations are deeply troubling, they serve as a reminder of the dark underbelly of Hollywood, where such stories are, unfortunately, not uncommon. For those who don't know, Diddy and Lori Harvey's relationship caused quite a stir when it seemingly became official in 2019. This unexpected pairing followed Diddy's breakup with singer Cassie Ventura in late 2018. While Diddy had been linked to a few women after that split, his time with Lori raised eyebrows for one specific reason. Lori, Steve Harvey's stepdaughter, had previously been linked to none other than Justin Combs, Diddy's son. Yikes! According to TMZ, Lori and Justin were rumored to have dated before Lori and Diddy became an item. In July 2019, Diddy and Lori were spotted together in New York City wearing matching outfits, which only added fuel to the relationship rumors. Although Diddy had denied being romantically involved with Lori earlier that year, it wasn't long after the truth surfaced, sparking a wave of jokes and speculation online. The relationship, however, was short-lived. By October 2019, reports suggested that Lori and Diddy had split, with insiders describing their fun fling as having fizzled out. At the time, Diddy was said to be focusing on healing after the loss of Kim Porter, the mother of 3 of his children, who passed away in November 2018. Interestingly, Kim is one of the individuals Diddy is allegedly accused of silencing when they attempted to expose his disturbing behavior. Despite the breakup, Diddy didn't stay single for long. He was soon spotted dining with Nicole Alvera. Lori, too, moved on. But now that Diddy is embroiled in lawsuits and shocking allegations, troubling questions arise. Was Lori a victim of mistreatment during her time with Diddy, or did she witness any of the disturbing activities allegedly happening at his infamous freak-off parties? While I'll let you draw your own conclusions, let's be real. The signs seem to point to a big yes. Lucky for Lori, it seems she managed to walk away unscathed, but not without raising some eyebrows. And it all ties back to Steve Harvey. Here's where things get interesting. Eagle-eyed observers noticed a subtle yet peculiar detail in some photos of Lori with Diddy, her nail polish. Specifically, a sudden switch to white nail polish. Now, at first glance, this might seem like a harmless fashion choice, but when you dive into Cassie's explosive lawsuit against Diddy, it's not so innocent. According to Cassie, in Diddy's world, wearing white nail polish wasn't just a style preference. It was allegedly a signal of being an S-worker in his activities. This seemingly small detail takes on a whole new level of meaning when you consider other reports backing up these claims. Comedian Cat Williams even chimed in on the controversy, hinting that Steve Harvey may have played a role in this twisted dynamic. Williams alleged that Steve might have used Lori as a way to get closer to Diddy, potentially even involving her in some of these shocking situations.
There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over KB and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Cat Williams in there.
All of this might not be as far-fetched as it seems, especially considering Steve Harvey's track record of controversies over the years. While he consistently portrays himself as a family man, many people think otherwise. Persistent rumors suggest Harvey's behind-the-scenes behavior doesn't match the image he presents. For example, when Harvey's talk show moved to Los Angeles, his staff reportedly faced the brunt of his demands. A leaked memo revealed Harvey instructing his employees not to approach him unless specifically asked, sparking outrage. Harvey later defended the memo, claiming he just wanted more free time. However, it only added tension, especially between Harvey and comedian Cat Williams, who have a long history of clashing. Cat Williams has aired several grievances about Harvey over the years. In 2015, Harvey faced a lawsuit for allegedly backing out of leasing a private jet after spending over $400,000 on renovations Harvey reportedly requested. Williams has also accused Harvey of stealing creative ideas. He claimed the premise of the Steve Harvey Show was taken from comedian Mark Curry's show, Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Williams didn't hold back on Harvey's acting chops either, jokingly suggesting Hollywood wasn't looking for a man who talks funny and looks like Mr. Potato Head.
Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write.
There's a lot to unpack here, and one thing's for sure. Steve Harvey isn't exactly looking squeaky clean when it comes to his ties with Diddy. Could that be the real reason behind his sudden exit from the country? Many speculate it's to avoid being questioned about Diddy's infamous activities. And guess what? He's not running solo. Ashton Kutcher has also reportedly joined the Flee the Scene Club. Ashton's silence speaks volumes. He's been tied to attending Diddy's notorious parties, and while he might have plenty of stories to share, it seems like he's choosing not to. Instead of spilling the tea, he's grabbing his passport and heading out. Rumor has it, Ashton wasn't just a passive bystander either. He enjoyed every second of those wild events.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either.
Let's start with a connection not everyone knows about. Ashton Kutcher and Diddy's history goes way back. Ashton himself called their friendship bizarre. Yet it worked. They were spotted everywhere, hanging out, watching football, even going on runs together. Their connection started with Punk'd, Ashton's wildly popular prank show on MTV. From there, their bond grew, with Diddy diving into TV production himself, creating hits like Making the Band. They were regular fixtures at high-profile events, including Diddy's infamous 2010 Labor Day White Party, where Hollywood's elite gathered for some of the wildest nights imaginable. And here's a fun fact for you. When Time magazine named Ashton Kutcher one of the 100 most influential people in the world, Diddy was absolutely glowing with praise. He called Ashton a sounding board, and even went on to say, like me, he's a mogul. a new media mogul. But we're like yin and yang. I'm in your face, and he's all cool and suave.
We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out, watch football together. And he came over, and I was like, I'm going for a run. He's like, oh, I'll go for a run with you.
Now, despite their close bond back in the day, it seems like Ashton Kutcher is now avoiding Diddy at all costs. It's almost as if he's pretending he wasn't proud to be friends with Diddy in the past. And it's not just Diddy who's been surrounded by questionable connections for Ashton. His ties to people with controversial backgrounds didn't stop with Diddy. Last year, he and his wife, Mila Kunis, faced major backlash for supporting their That 70s Show co-star, Danny Masterson, who was facing serious legal allegations. For those who may not know, Danny Masterson was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison and must register as an S offender after being convicted on 2 counts of SA.
Ashton Kutcher, you're up. Let me tell you the part that really chaps my ass about this. Bro, poor choice of words when Diddy's around. So look, here's the thing is I almost liked you. I almost liked you, homie. You was up there in front of Congress speaking against human trafficking. You almost had me. But why is it that everyone that you're close friends with turns out to be a stone cold predator? Not just one, and it's not just an isolated incident. This is a pattern with you for decades.
And Ashton and Mila's public support of Masterson triggered a wave of criticism. One of the strongest responses came from actress Christina Ricci, who didn't hold back in calling out the couple. She shared a powerful message on social media stating, "Unfortunately, I've known lots of great guys who were kind to me, but later turned out to be toxic behind closed doors. Believe victims. It's not easy to come forward, and it's even harder to get a conviction." Although Christina Ricci didn't name names directly, it was pretty obvious her social media post was aimed at none other than Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Now, if you need the backstory, here's what happened. Ashton and Mila both wrote letters to the court supporting Masterson ahead of his sentencing, urging the judge to consider a more lenient sentence. They painted him as a positive role model who had significantly impacted their lives, which, as you can imagine, didn't sit well with many people. In their letters, Ashton credited Danny for helping him stay away from illegal substances, even calling him a mentor of sorts during their friendship. Mila, on the other hand, described Danny as a big brother figure who, like her, avoided the party scene and kept her grounded. It was clear they both viewed Danny as someone who had a positive influence on their lives. But here's the twist. While they saw him as a mentor, their decision to publicly support him quickly became a PR nightmare once the backlash rolled in. However, Ashton and Mila didn't just sit back and let the criticism pile up. They quickly addressed the situation with a joint video apology. In the video, they clarified that the letters were written at the request of Danny's family, who asked them to provide character references for him, since they had known him for over 25 years. Their intention, they insisted, wasn't to discredit the victims or cause any harm. They explained that they had never meant to diminish the gravity of the situation or invalidate the victims' experiences.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us, and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years, so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
But with Diddy's recent arrest, all that backlash against Ashton Kutcher and other Hollywood elites seems to connect some serious dots. Ashton has long been friends with some pretty questionable figures in the industry, and it's hard not to wonder if he was truly oblivious to what was happening behind closed doors, especially considering that Diddy's infamous freak-off parties were basically an open secret in Hollywood. Now, this all came to light when a recent victim, Allie Carter, bravely stepped forward, exposing not just Diddy, but also Steve Harvey and Ashton Kutcher as being involved in these so-called freak-off parties. Carter may not be a household name like the celebrity she's calling out, but her allegations have certainly made waves online, forcing people to pay attention. She describes herself as a survivor of the darker side of the entertainment industry, where she claims to have witnessed and even experienced exploitation and manipulation firsthand.
My name is Allison Carter. Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking. I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested. They're ducking and hiding because everybody knows that there was children there.
People built these tunnels. There's a lot of elite celebrities. They go down there for parties underneath the Getty.
Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres. Do you want me to keep going?
Her bold accusations against some of the biggest names in entertainment have thrust her into the spotlight. Carter's not just taking aim at Diddy, she's also targeting a network of powerful men in the industry who, according to her, have used their influence in harmful and dangerous ways.
Yeah, I was at a Diddy party. I was one of the party favors. But I told you, nobody tells on Diddy. Maria Z, I did that interview in 2021, 7 months ago. We made sure, I already knew, that Diddy and Oprah is about to get arrested.
Allie Carter pulls back the curtain on these so-called VIP sections at Diddy's infamous parties. And what she reveals is chilling. These weren't just exclusive areas with bottle service and velvet ropes. According to Allie, they were curated spaces for high-profile guests like Steve, Ashton, Jay-Z, and Naomi Campbell, giving them access to young girls in ways that should never ever happen. What's truly disturbing is that Allie isn't the only one to share this kind of story. The tactics she describes, building up young people's self-worth to make them feel like they were hand-picked for greatness, align with the same disturbing patterns seen in other survivors' accounts of mistreatment in the industry. These young individuals were lured in by the promise of fame and recognition, but what they often found behind closed doors was something far darker. The fact that multiple survivors are speaking out with similar stories only makes it more clear. This is not an isolated incident, and the magnitude of it is staggering. And it doesn't stop there. Carter's claims go even further, alleging that this manipulation isn't just about exploitation. It extends to silencing anyone who dares to speak out against the powerful figures involved. According to Carter, Diddy's reach in the entertainment world was so vast that he has the ability to blacklist people from job opportunities and uses his connections to intimidate those who challenge him. She paints a chilling picture of the consequences for anyone who crosses him, emphasizing that Diddy's grip on the industry isn't just about influence, but about maintaining power through fear. We've all seen the eerie connection between Diddy and the untimely deaths of people close to him, and the stories surrounding these deaths are enough to make anyone pause and question. Take Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-wife, who tragically died in 2018. Officially, her death was ruled as pneumonia, but the timing was suspicious. She had reportedly been preparing to release a tell-all book about her experiences with Diddy, shedding light on what really went down behind closed doors. But just before the book could be unveiled, she passed away unexpectedly. Then there's the case of Andre Harrell, who was found dead in 2020 under similar circumstances. Harrell, a music mogul and former mentor to Diddy, was said to have been preparing his own tell-all about the industry, including his dealings with Diddy. Just like Kim, his death was sudden and raised serious questions. And let's not forget about Al B. Sure. He too was rumored to have been writing a book about Diddy, but managed to survive a mysterious health scare that nearly took his life. With all these deaths and near-death experiences surrounding people who were reportedly ready to expose Diddy's secrets, it's hard not to see a disturbing pattern. Going back to Carter, she has even gone as far as to claim that some of these high-profile figures are involved in satanic rituals, where participants are allegedly coerced into engaging in disturbing, intimate activities involving bloody body parts.
Yes, there were shrines used for rituals. There's bloody places. There's parts where there's limbs. People cut off limbs and want you to have sex in it. There's blood that I don't even know who it belongs to.
But Allie's claims don't just focus on the notorious Hollywood parties. She takes us down a darker rabbit hole, revealing what could be an even more disturbing secret: a hidden network of tunnels beneath Los Angeles, allegedly connecting some of the city's most exclusive estates.
I've been there, I've done that. So I'm telling you right now, there are entrances and exits in manholes in the ocean. Why do you think certain people have private submarines? Why do you think they need a submarine? Why do you think I say there's every source of transportation under the ground? So who are we? I'm trying to grasp, who are we protecting besides children? Well, nobody's talking about the children.
According to Allie, this isn't just Hollywood gossip. It's an open secret among the wealthy and powerful, a shadowy world that lets them gather privately and stay completely off the grid. These tunnels are said to provide a hidden highway, keeping the most powerful people in the world safe from the prying eyes of the public. And Allie isn't the only one speaking out about these hidden networks. Jaguar Wright, a soul singer turned whistleblower, has added her voice to the chorus of those unveiling the disturbing truths about Hollywood's underworld. Wright has gone even further, claiming that these tunnels aren't just for secretive gatherings, they might actually serve to cover up for darker activities.
Information and what you can hide. Not what you can prove, but what you can hide. Why ain't nobody talking about the fact that those Diddy tunnels go to Hugh Hefner's house? Allegedly.
The tunnels, Wright says, were originally built during the Prohibition era, but over time, they evolved into clandestine venues where the powerful can engage in activities far beyond the reach of public scrutiny. These underground pathways, she claims, connect high-profile estates, including Diddy's infamous Beverly Hills mansion, to these secretive routes. The design of these tunnels was never meant to be just for easy movement. It was meant to trap people in, keeping them in this private world that few can ever escape from. Wright's allegations suggest that some of Hollywood's biggest names used these tunnels for decades to carry on their illicit activities in complete secrecy. The tunnels were reportedly built so well that it's nearly impossible to locate exits or even understand where each passage leads, giving the powerful complete control over who enters and leaves. So, with all that being said, it's hard to ignore the fact that both Steve Harvey and Ashton Kutcher allegedly knew about the dark side of Hollywood, about Diddy's secretive world, the disturbing story surrounding him, and the shady networks in place. Yet despite having first-hand knowledge, they chose to stay silent. Why? Because their careers, fame, and connections seem to matter more than doing the right thing and speaking out. Ashton Kutcher, who's built his public persona around being a tech mogul and a champion for victims of exploitation, has faced major backlash for his silence. His own foundation, Thorn, is dedicated to protecting children from mistreatment. Yet when it comes to the Hollywood underworld, he apparently turned a blind eye. And Steve Harvey, the self-proclaimed family man and man of faith, has also found himself at the center of this storm. While he's always portrayed himself as someone with strong moral values, his apparent willingness to stay silent about the disturbing truths in Hollywood raises serious questions. His fame and fortune seem to have clouded his judgment, making him more concerned with maintaining his status than exposing the truth. But what do you think? Do you believe that Ashton Kutcher and Steve Harvey were involved in any of these dark dealings, and that's possibly the real reason they chose to leave the country? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. While we wait for more updates on this crazy story, don't forget to subscribe and check out our other videos for more juicy insights. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with more.